Alpha looked at the doctor in horror. I don't want to! I already caused one civil war. I don't plan on causing another. You can wait in the TARDIS if you want, said the doctor. Alpha hesitated. She shook her dome. No, I'll stay with you, she said. She looked up at the doctor. She could see in his eyes the fact that he would have to condemn a mere child to death had utterly destroyed his happy mood. Jeremiah Wolf sat quietly at the media station in his family's quarters. He was watching an old television show from the 2010s, oh, so long ago. Sherlock, it was called. He watched it not because of the fact that he found it to be an interesting piece of drama, but the methods used to solve each of Sherlock's cases were laughable, and his conclusions, to a person such as Wolfe, did not make an ounce of sense. It was while he was thinking about this particular fact that somebody knocked on the door. He got up and opened it. Outside was a man and a rather fetching young woman, whom he thought would make a nice victim one day. Hello, the man began. I'm Dr. John Smith, and this is my wife, Eliza Smith. Jeremiah looked at them bluntly. Get to the point, he said. Right, said the doctor, stepping in uninvited. How did you do it? He asked. Jeremiah laughed. He knew what this doctor fellow was speaking of. Why should I ever tell you? He asked. Because we know what you've done, Wolf, what you've been doing, replied the doctor. The murder of John Heath. Why did you do it? For the fun of it, Wolf replied. Because my genius allows me to do so. Right. The doctor paused. Now, Alpha! Before Jeremiah could react, a bolt of energy erupted from Mrs. Smith's hand. Jeremiah fell to his knees, and as the world went black around him, for a moment, in Mrs. Smith's face, he saw a Dalek, and almost screamed in horror. Schultz couldn't believe his eyes. Jeremiah's handwriting matched the handwriting on the note perfectly. He turned to the doctor. How did you collect this evidence? He asked. We stunned him, replied the doctor. Stunned him? Schultz looked over to Alpha. She looked like she was about to be sick. I think you'll find he's been killing innocents and successfully framing other people for his actions for quite some time now. All you have to do is reopen some of his cases and look deeper into them, said the doctor. Why is he doing it? Asked Schultz. For the fun of it, because his intellectual capacity makes him untouchable, or so he thought. He's been slacking lately, as most teenagers do. Right, I'll send for his arrest. Of course you two shall take all the credit for bringing him to justice. Schultz was cut off by the doctor. No, I don't think so. If you feel you must give credit to anybody, just call us unknown parties in your report. He paused. Right, come along, Alpha. Our work here is done. Oh, and a word of advice. Yes? Start keeping your youths in the colony records. And with that, the two mysterious people left. Doctor, asked Alpha as they entered the TARDIS. Yes, answered the doctor. Is it always like this? Always like what? Condemning children to death and starting civil wars. Not always. Really? Because it seems you do it a lot. You think I like doing it? You think I enjoy condemning a child to death? Jeremiah Wolf's death changes the history of the human colonization of space. Personally, I wouldn't have tried him as an adult. I wouldn't have sentenced him to death because that's not what I stand for. But it wasn't my choice. It's not my society. I have a duty to perform as a Time Lord, and in recent times, I've been becoming careless. A while ago, the web of time almost unraveled because of my meddling. When I land in important moments in history, I need to make sure they go as they're supposed to. It's not right, but it had to be done. Alpha was at a loss for words. She finally let out a quiet, I'm sorry. So am I, said the doctor. They sat in silence for a while. Then Alpha went into the library and came back with a book of holiday locations. I'm choosing where to go this time, Alpha said, trying to brighten the mood. The doctor looked up from the console, obviously thankful. Are you indeed? All right, where do you want to go? Before Alpha could answer, the TARDIS jerked violently. A spark flew up from the console, and the interior of the ship faded to blackness. When the doctor awoke, the TARDIS and Alpha seemed to be frozen, a blue tint covering everything. The doctor knew what was happening immediately. "Time Lords," said the doctor grimly.